Hello students, I hope you are having a wonderful day. Let us continue with second module of plastic analysis. Overall, this will be your module number 3. Okay, overall this will be module number 3 of steel structures, but second module of plastic analysis. I hope you are perfect in first module of plastic analysis. It was simple. I hope you understood something new, right? So in this module, I am going to teach you a very important concept, which is shape factor. And you can expect a question to come from here. अब शायद आपका 2 मार्क का क्वेश्चन यहाँ से आ सकता है. So let us concentrate on the shape factor. But before that, there are some basic things which you have to study. Let us see it little bit fast, and then we will rush into shape factor because I want to spend maximum time there. So there are some basic assumptions which you might be familiar with already. देखा होगा कहीं पे, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आरसीसी में थोड़े देखे होंगे. So in SOM में थोड़े देखे होंगे. Whenever you are reading it, right, you will obviously correlate with that. Let us see whether you remember this or not. So first assumption is plane section remains plane after bending also. This is also the very first assumptions what we have studied in RCC. याद है ना? What does it mean? Let us say I want to teach everything from scratch because I can't expect you to complete RCC first. आप कैसे भी पढ़ सकते हो. It is not mandatory that you have to finish RCC. Then only you have to start steel structures. It is up to you. You can start steel structures and then go to RCC also. So let me tell you what this point specifies. Plane section remain plane after bending also. So let us say this is my beam. Okay, ये है मेरा beam. Take any section wherever you want. You can take a section, but to be easy for me, I am taking section at the end. Okay, ताकि मैं easy से देख सकता हूँ उसे. This is a plane, right? This is like a straight line. I can say this is a plane. Okay, now what I am doing, I am applying the load. Whenever I am applying the load, obviously क्या होगा, वो डिफ्लेक्ट होगा, मेरा बीम डिफ्लेक्ट होगा. अग्रीड? कुछ इस तरह से डिफ्लेक्ट हो. Now you can see properly what happened. This was your section 1. Now it got deflected to this section 2. End कौन सा ये है? But that plane remains still a plane. वो जो स्ट्रेट लाइन था अभी भी स्ट्रेट लाइन ही दिख रहा है ना आपको, राइट? द प्लेन सेक्शन रिमेन प्लेन आफ्टर बेंडिंग ऑल्सो. आई होप यू गॉट द कॉन्सेप्ट. एंड दिस assumption has a very famous name. This is called as Bernoulli's assumption. You should remember it. Okay, so whenever you got this plane section remain planes after bending, that means your strain is varying linearly with respect to cross section. Okay, your strain is varying linearly with respect to cross section. Let us try to understand. Whenever you are loading the body, the top portion, what it is getting compressed, and bottom portion you can clearly see ये जो bottom portion है, it got stretched यानी there are some tensile forces acting, it is in tension. So you can clearly see, let us say ये था आपका सेक्शन, अब इस तरह से बेंड कर दिया. ठीक है, अब कुछ इस तरह से बेंड कर दिया. सो देयर विल बी अ सेक्शन इन दिस डायग्राम विच इज नेदर इन कंप्रेशन नॉर इन टेंशन. दैट आई एम कॉलिंग इट एज न्यूट्रल एक्सिस. ओके, देयर विल बी अ सेक्शन in which we don't have any tension or compression, obviously, right? मैं उसको क्या बुला रहा हूँ, न्यूट्रल एक्सिस बुला रहा हूँ. लेट मी ड्रॉ इट प्रॉपरली सो दैट यू विल नॉट कंफ्यूज. लेट मी ड्रॉ इट प्रॉपरली. ओके, इस पेज पे डाल लेंगे so that you will not confuse. Simple concept hai, but I want to teach everything from scratch, so please bear with me. Okay, so what happened whenever I am applying load, my structure became something like this. Okay, I hope it is clear. So there will be a zone. Okay, there will be a plane which is not taking either compression or tension. That plane I am calling it as neutral axis. याद रखना, very important term है neutral axis, in which you don't have either compression or tension. So ये जो neutral axis बन रहा है ना, ये जो neutral axis आपने बना है, so you can clearly see if you are drawing the strain diagram with respect to the cross section, ऊपर क्या रहेगा, compression में रहेगा, नीचे क्या रहेगा, tension में रहेगा. You can clearly see, right? The top part, let us say this part 1 and this is part 2. The top part, it clearly got compressed, right? It got closer. And part 2, it is like someone has stressed it, it got tension forces. Okay, and your strain diagram, as plane section is remaining plane, that is possible only when your strain is varying linearly. तभी वो प्लेन रहेगा. इफ योर स्ट्रेन वाज नॉट वेरिंग लिनियरली, देन आपको प्लेन नहीं बनेगा, आपको कुछ अलग सा शेप हो जाएगा, कुछ अलग से बेंड हो जाएगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ your strain was not linear anymore, you might be getting something like this. Okay, you won't be getting plane anymore. वो उसका शेप बदल जाएगा. I hope concept is very clear. समझ नहीं आ गया concept? Very simple है. So this is the first assumption. Now let us go to second assumption. It is valid up to collapse load is our second assumption. What is our second assumption? Valid up to collapse load. So what is this collapse load? I taught you in the last module. See, for example, if you have a structure, if you are adding certain amount of load, okay, जब भी आप load दे रहे हो, you are giving certain amount of moment to this, right? Let us talk in the language of bending moment so that it will be little bit interesting. Okay, so whenever you are giving load, obviously आप क्या induce कर रहे हो? You are giving certain amount of external moment to this structure. Agreed or not? So I have a formula, m by I is equals to f by y is equals to E by R. I hope you are recollecting this formula somewhere, right? You might have studied in SOM, you might have studied in RCC, or you might have heard somewhere, at least in your college. याद आया ना फॉर्मूला, फेमस फॉर्मूला है, m by I इक्वल्स टू f by y is equals to E by R. So m by I is equals to f by y, where my f is my bending stress. Bending stress. So I can say, if the load is more, if you are increasing the load, what is happening? Your moment is increasing. अगर moment increase कर रहा है, the moment which you are inducing, obviously stresses in your structure are increasing. क्या होगा? आपके जो stresses है, bending stresses, it is increasing. Concept clear है? So if I keep on increasing the load, obviously my moment is increasing and it will reach yield moment. And here, when it reaches yield moment, what will be my stress? My stress will be Fy, right? My stress will be Fy. For example, if I am taking a rectangular section, stress diagram डाल लेंगे. First of all, let us say this is how the stress diagram looks like, and here F, here F. But if you keep on increasing the load, obviously मेरा stress बढ़ेगा and it will reach Fy, Fy. It will reach Fy, Fy. If you keep on increasing the load, already the external fibers has reached your yield strength, but if you keep on increasing the load, what will happen in our steel? As it has lot of plastic range, what it will happen? ये Fy constant ही रहेगा, but the fibers which are below this external, ये जो fibers है इसके नीचे, okay, external से नीचे, and at the bottom these fibers, okay, from bottom what we will be seeing? We will be seeing these fibers are also start taking Fy strength. Okay, the stress at bottom fibers will also become Fy. Okay, so you can clearly see in this zone my stress is Fy. Okay, and these zones I can call it as plastic zone. ये जो zone है जहाँ पे full stress आ गया है Fy, I am calling it as plastic zone. But if I keep on increasing the load, I have still increased the load, what will happen? Then obviously, as you can expect, for example, let us say this is neutral axis, up to neutral axis, up to the center of the beam, the entire fibers, they will be taking a stress of Fy. This is the maximum, right? This is the maximum. This is the maximum case. So maximum it has reached, every fiber is taking Fy strength now. Okay, if you are further adding any more load, can it take? No, right? तो क्या हो जाएगा? न्यूट्रल एक्सिस है, जो न्यूट्रल एक्सिस बन रहा है, दिस विल एक्ट एज अ हिंज. व्हेन इट स्टार्ट एक्ट्स एज अ हिंज, obviously you know what is moment capacity of a hinge. At hinge the moment is zero, it cannot take any moment, so it will going to collapse. Okay, the load at which my structure is collapsing, I am calling it as what? I am calling it as collapse load. Okay, how many plastic hinge? ऐसा नहीं है कि ये प्लास्टिक हिंज फॉर्म हो गया पूरा स्ट्रक्चर गिर जाएगा. नो, इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट. ओके, वी हैव टू फॉर्म सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ प्लास्टिक hinges, 3, 4, 5, based on the diagram, then you will be getting this structure getting collapsed. Okay, we'll study that also maybe in the next module, how many plastic hinges should be developed in the body. Everything I will teach you in a wonderful way and you will never make a mistake. But first let us see these concepts. Okay, so let us see the third point. ये जो third point है ये काफी interesting है, and देख लेना, the cross section must be symmetrical with plane of loading. He is saying the cross section should be symmetrical with plane of loading. For example, if I am taking a I section, okay, if I am taking a I section, so I have taken a I beam, it is actually something like this, ऐसा कुछ रहेगा beam. Okay, I hope you got it right. But for easiness I am taking a cross section of it. Okay, at a cross section, so if I am loading it symmetrically, then it's fine. We have to load as if the load is symmetrical, okay, to the structure. If not, okay, if you are loading something like this, okay, if your section is not symmetrical with the plane of loading, what will happen? twisting moment will be developed. Okay, because the load is not symmetric, a twisting moment will be developed in my section. Concept is very clear, right? So let me tell you very clearly. So whatever moment you are applying, let us call it as external moment. Because of this external moment, my body, the body, whatever the steel body you have or any material body, it will have to resist it. So it will give internal moment to resist the external moment, right? So this internal moment is of two types. One is bending moment and दूसरा आके twisting moment. Okay, one is bending moment, दूसरा आके twisting moment. What is the difference? You have to understand now. Please be very careful. That is the point I want to stress. Let us concentrate on it. The moment whatever you have, right, it is a vector. So it will have both magnitude and direction. Moment का direction काफी important है, याद रखना, ठीक है? So moment will have magnitude as well as direction. So moment is a vector, and how to get this direction? The direction is the direction you can get by nuts and bolt system. The direction in which your bolt is advancing, right? Your nut is advancing, that I am calling it as direction of moment. For example, not only with nut and bolts, you can also do it with your ring. Finger ring से भी आप कर सकते हो. See, let us try to understand. So let us say this finger is your bolt and this is your nut. Okay, the direction of advancement, if I want to obviously wear my ring, the direction in which I have to rotate, so that direction will give me moment. Okay, so कुछ इस तरह से. So if I have something like this, let us say this is my member, so I have to turn it like this. That will be the direction of moment. The direction of advancement जो भी बन रहा है ना, that is the direction of moment. Okay, if this moment whatever which is in the direction of advancement, if it is along the longitudinal axis, तो हमें मिलेगा twisting moment. If it is perpendicular to longitudinal axis, we will be getting bending moment. Let me try to explain you with the help of diagrams. Only then you will understand. Very important point. Let us try to understand. If you have a beam something like this, okay, so longitudinal axis किसे बुलाएंगे? Whatever is long, that will be my longitudinal axis in simple language. So this is my longitudinal axis. If let us say for this finger, what is my longitudinal axis? A straight line passing through this. A straight line passing through my centroid, that will be my longitudinal axis. So the moment, what is the direction of moment? It should be something like this. The direction of advancement of my nut, right? Agreed or not? So on this, if there is something acting like this, okay, if there is something acting like this, अगर कुछ उसे rotate करने की कोशिश कर रहा है along the longitudinal axis, if the moment is acting, then I will be calling it as twisting moment. Twisting moment. Just try on your finger, not with ring. Just take any finger, and this is your longitudinal axis, right? This is your longitudinal axis. Try to rotate it. Try to rotate it as if you are turning the nut. Okay. So क्या हो रहा है? You can clearly see your finger is getting twisted, right? Why? Because whenever the moment is acting along this longitudinal axis, that moment is called as what? Twisting moment. Simple. समझ में आ गया? Now let us see what is bending moment. For this, let us take axis perpendicular to this. Okay, एक axis मैं ले रहा हूँ. Let us say this is the axis passing through my body. ठीक है, perpendicular to it. Okay. So now imagine you are applying a moment to this. इसका ring advancement type, you are applying a moment. Then how it will be? You can clearly understand. You can clearly see it is as if like this, pushing the body like this. So whenever, for example, this is the thing. Along its lateral axis or whatever axis you want to call, if you are applying bending moment, let us try to understand. If you are applying this moment, what will happen? It is trying to bend, right? It is trying to what? It is trying to bend. That's why I am calling it as bending moment. I hope it is very clear, right? So एक क्या कर रहा था? When I am applying moment along the longitudinal axis, it is trying to twist my body. That's why I am calling it as twisting moment. And when I am applying moment along my longitudinal axis, along my lateral axis, then what is happening? It is trying to bend my member. That's why I am calling it as bending moment. Done? समझ में आ गया आपको कॉन्सेप्ट? समझ में आ गया ना आपको कॉन्सेप्ट? परफेक्ट हो आप, right? So this is how it is done. This is how it is done. These are the two moments which you should always keep in your mind. Okay, and there is also one more important bit from SOM. You can get it. These bending stresses induce what? This bending moment, what it induces? It induces normal stress. And this twisting moment क्या induce करेगा? Shear stress. Bending moment normal stress, twisting moment shear stress induce करेगा body में. लिख लो एक note. Bending moment will induce normal stress, whereas twisting moment will induce what? Shear stress in your member. Okay, clear? Now let us continue with the next bit, very important. See, in this, whatever you are designing this plastic analysis, we are mainly concerned about moment capacity. Okay, the axial forces, shear forces of the body, whatever we have, we generally ignore it. No need to consider. Okay, the main factor with which my structure is failing, it is because of moment only. That's how I consider this. And stress strain relationship kaisa rahega? It will be bilinear, as I have explained before in the last module. It will be a straight line. Okay, now let us see the next concept, which is safe moment of resistance. Safe moment of resistance yani use your simple language and try to break down this term. Safe moment of resistance, that is the moment which my body can safely take. Okay, the maximum moment which you can give to the body so that it will not break. In simple language, common sense की बात है, right? I need not explain this term, देख के आप समझ जा सकते हो. Safe moment of resistance, obviously, right? So the moment which can be safely resisted by my structure. So how much it is? Let us try to understand. We have one relationship, as I have explained earlier. M by I is equals to F by Y is equals to E by R. E by R हम बाद में देखेंगे, उसका भी एक important term है. Whenever I am using E by R, right? This term, whatever we have, E बाजू रख दो 1 by R. That will be the curvature. That will give that 1 by R क्या देगा आपको? Curvature देगा. We will see the importance of it in the next module, not now. But first let us see the basic things. Okay, M by I is equals to F by Y. So I can write my moment as my bending stress into I by Y, right? I by Y. So what is F value? If you don't please write down. It is bending stress. Bending stress. What is I? Your moment of inertia. And Y value, it is the distance from your centroid to the maximum outer fiber, right? So it should be written as Y max. That should be a better term. So this term, whatever you have, I by Y, I can replace it with a letter Z and I call it as section modulus. So I can write it as F into Z. So ये जो section modulus है क्या हो जाएगा? Let us see one example. If you have a rectangle, let us say this is your rectangle, this is B, this is T. What is your moment of inertia of a rectangle? BD cube by 12, right? And what is your Y value here? Y value centroid आपका यहाँ पे रहेगा. So this is your Y value, which is D by 2, right? Your Y value क्या हो गया? D by 2, because it is at centroid. And what is Y? It is the distance from centroid to the maximum outer fiber. So it will be D by 2. So my Z, which is section modulus of rectangle, what it will be? It will be nothing but BD cube by 12 divided by B. You can take it as D by 2, right? एक D, एक cube जाके square हो जाएगा. 2 I am sending up. 2 1s are 2 6 are. So my section modulus of a rectangle is nothing but BD square by 6. Like that you can calculate your section modulus. Instead of writing I by Y, what I am writing is my safe moment is equals to F into Z from now on. Okay, let me make it very clear. What is for rectangle? We have just seen, right? What it is? My Z value is B D square by 6. If you are seeing properly, इसमें length है क्या? Length of beam is given. No, right? Length is not there. Only B and D. So I can tell this whatever Z is there, my section modulus, it is a property of cross section only. It is a property of cross section only. BD काफी है. I don't want what is the length of beam to calculate my Z value, right? So ऐसे छोटे छोटे bits आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. My section modulus, whatever this Z is, right, it represent the flexural strength parameter. It is a flexural strength parameter. अगर Z value ज़्यादा है, that means it can take more flexural strength, more bending strength, यानी more moment वो resist कर पाएगा. Obviously, right? M is equals to F into Z. If Z value is more, obviously moment which it can take is also more. So I can call this Z as flexural strength parameter. Okay, and it is independent of length and loading. It is independent of length and loading. You can clearly see my formula is BD square by 6. It doesn't have the terms like loading W or the length of my beam. So it is independent of the loading as well as it is independent of the length. It is just a property of cross section, right? So my M value is F into Z. My M value is F into Z. Now let us see the same concept which I have taught you earlier. So whenever you are just loading my body, it could be a I section or it could be a rectangular section. Let this is a rectangular section 1 and I section 2. It doesn't matter. Whenever you are loading it, thoda hi load add karoge, so it will enter into elastic state only, right? It will enter into elastic state only. So what will be the stress? Let us take F and F. This is your stress distribution and stress distribution diagram. Let us say this is F and F. And obviously your F will be less than equals to your yield strength, right? So graph was something like this. Whenever you are applying a little bit load, stress kahan tak aayega? Yahan tak aayega. Somewhere F, which is obviously less than your Fy value, If you keep on increasing the load, obviously, then you will be reaching, if you are keep on increasing the load, obviously you will be reaching your yield strength. तब क्या हो जाएगा? ये F value यहाँ पे Fy हो जाएगा. It will finally reach Fy. If you even apply a slightest moment, okay, if you are further applying the moment, then it will reach partially plastic state. In this, what was happening previously, it was something like this, Fy. Now the external fiber के नीचे के जो भी fibers है, it will also start taking Fy, and my stress diagram will be modifying like this. Okay, and the zone in which all the fibers are taking this Fy, if you are drawing this line, ये लाइन देख लेना. सो ये जो हैशेड पार्ट है, so that part I am calling it as plastic zone. Okay, so this is called as plastic zone. There could be a bit asked for you, what is the depth of plastic zone also? We will solve it in the next module. Okay, so what is happening here? So whenever you are increasing the moment from external fibers on the both direction, they start taking Fy strength, but these parts depending upon the moment whatever you applying, there will be in the center, there will be still ये जो members है clearly ये जो fibers है, they are not taking still Fy. But if you keep on increasing the moment, obviously these whatever layers are there in the between which are not taking Fy, वो भी Fy लेना शुरू कर देंगे. Okay, so what will happen if you keep on increasing the moment? Finally you will reach this state where every fiber is taking the full strength. Okay, where every fiber is utilizing its full strength. I hope it is very clear. So let me make it one more point. ये जो partially plastic state था, it was something like this, right? The diagram was something like this. And let me make it very clear. If I am increasing the moment, if my M value increases, then ये जो plastic zone था, what is plastic zone? This distance is my plastic zone. If moment keeps on increasing, my plastic zone will also keeps on increasing. Common sense की बात है. If you increase the moment up to your plastic state, fully plastic state, then obviously every fiber will be taking Fy. I hope it is very clear, right? If moment keeps on increasing, the plastic zone will be all across the cross section, and this state I am calling it as fully plastic state. And even at fully plastic state, it is not causing any problem. But if you are increasing any moment, any further moment, थोड़ा भी 0.001 भी आप अगर ऐड करते हो, तब क्या होगा, right? So theoretically क्या हो जाएगा? Your moment, if it increases even a further bit, a plastic hinge will be formed. Okay, it will act as a hinge at neutral axis. A plastic hinge will be formed. You know what is the plastic hinge capacity? Moment carrying capacity, it is 0. Therefore obviously my structure is in danger. I hope you got it right. The bending moment whatever you should apply so that all the bodies are reaching its Fy, right? The bending moment whatever you have to apply, let us call it as MP. So if you are applying this much bending moment, then all the fibers will be reaching your stress Fy, and this Z I am representing by Zp. Okay, so this moment whatever you have to apply, I am calling it as plastic hinge moment, or you can directly call it as plastic moment. This plastic moment. So let us try to understand what will be my yield moment. Yield moment क्या हो जाएगा? Where your external fiber is taking Fy and my M value is F into Z, right? So I can write it as, at this yield moment My, I can write it as Fy into Z. Okay. Now similarly, let us calculate our plastic moment also. Let us calculate our MP value. यहाँ पे एक twist है. See, now what happened? Now my body is completely yielded. सो आई कैनॉट जस्ट यूज एफ आई इंटू जेड. एफ आई इंटू जेड कर लोगे तो आपका क्या आ जाएगा, यील्ड मोमेंट आएगा. हाउ टू गेट दिस प्लास्टिक मोमेंट? प्लास्टिक मोमेंट is the maximum moment capacity, right? It is the maximum moment capacity which could be taken. We will be using the same concepts of RCC which we have used. To calculate moment of resistance, I was using one simple formula in RCC, which was my, not only RCC, this is the simple terms. We just are equating our force equilibrium equation, that's it. So what I am going to get is my C, that is my compressive force into lever arm, or it is also equals to my tensile force into lever arm. So what is this lever arm? For example, let us say here I have some compressive force, here I have some tensile force. Okay, so this distance is my lever arm. It is like a couple, right? If my C is equals to T, then what will happen? You can clearly see it will be like this. It will be like this, let us say if distance D, this is similar to what? This is similar to that of couple, right? Two unlike forces acting at some distance D. What is it? Any force, let us say this is F1 and this is also F1, same force act करना चाहिए. Then what is the moment here acting? F1 into D, right? आपने पढ़ा होगा couple concept में, right? So the same I am using to find out this plastic moment. What I am doing? I am doing C into LA or T into LA. So this is how you have to find out your plastic moment. So without delaying, let us calculate our MP. अरे यार काफी simple है. I have told you it is C into lever arm or T into lever arm. So if I have some body, let us take any body. अगर ये जो diagram है यही ले लो, right? So when I have to calculate plastic moment, obviously every fiber whatever we have in this cross section, obviously क्या है? It has yielded to maximum. So what is the stress along all the fibers? All the fibers stress is Fi only, na? All the fibers stress is Fi only. So my stress, I know stress. I need what? I need force, compressive force into lever arm or tensile force into lever arm. I want force first of all. How to get this force? Stress और force का relation क्या है? Stress into area is force, or stress is equals to force divided by area. So I'm just cross multiplying. To get the force, I'm just multiplying stress into area, right? So ये जो compressive force है वो कितना हो जाएगा? Compressive force will be in this diagram above neutral axis. It is in compression, right? So area of it which is in compression into your compressive stress Fi, right? So that is your C value, compressive force value. Similarly, your tensile force क्या हो जाएगा? Your tensile force, that will be tensile stress into area which is in tension, right? Area which is in tension. And good thing is, write down a very important point, काफी important point है. This whatever the neutral axis is there, no, it will cut the area into two halves. Okay, centroid might not be cutting. For example, if you are taking a triangle, obviously centroid कहाँ पे रहेगा? It will be at h by 3, and this is a 2h by 3. This is 2h divided by 3. Okay, it is not at center obviously. But if you are taking the neutral axis, it will cut in such a way that ये जो area है, it will be equal. That is the concept of this plastic analysis. In plastic analysis, your neutral axis always cuts the area into two equal halves. If this is a by 2, the bottom part will be a by 2 for sure. Bottom part will be a by 2 for sure. Always remember that. So I can directly write my C value as Fi into area under compression, right? So instead of area under compression, whatever the shape it is a rectangle, triangle, square, or whatever, I know my area under compression will be exactly half of the total area. So I am writing it as A by 2. And my tension force, it will also be Fi into area which is in tension, which will be obviously half of my total area, Fi into A by 2. So my MP is C into lever arm or T into lever arm. I will do the same. My MP value will be C. Let us take C value, Fi into A by 2 into my lever arm. What is lever arm? अरे यार काफी simple सी concept है. Let us see this diagram. Let us try to understand. My compressive force, whatever is it, right? It is acting, let us say, at this point. Okay, it is acting, the resultant of my compressive force, let us say it is acting at that point. My compressive force का my tensile force का जो भी resultant है, let us say it is acting at this point. This distance is lever arm, right? This distance is lever arm. How to get it? अरे बाबा very simple. If इसका जो ये जो पार्ट है, इसका जो पार्ट है, calculate the centroid of it. Obviously it will pass through, my force will pass through my centroid, right? So this distance, if it is y1, okay, you calculate what is, where is the centroid, and you will be getting this y2 bar. So my lever arm is y1 bar plus y2 bar. So I can write my mp is equals to fi into a by 2 into lever arm, which is y1 bar plus y2 bar. Let us try to understand with the help of triangle so that you will understand in a better way. For example, if you have a triangle, okay, triangle आपका यहाँ पे है and neutral axis is passing somewhere here, okay, neutral axis is passing somewhere here. Actually और थोड़े नीचे से जाएगा because it divides the area exactly into two halves. This is a by 2 and this part is a by 2. Okay, so what is my lever arm? Lever arm कैसे पहचानूंगा? Obviously this part is in compression and the compressive force will be passing through the centroid. Okay, ये जो triangle है, ये triangle का centroid से pass करेगा and नीचे आपको एक trapezoid दिख रहा है ना, this is the trapezoid, you can clearly see the trapezoid. Okay, where will be the tensile force? नीचे क्या है? Tensile force है. The tensile force centroid will be at the centroid of this trapezoid. Okay, I hope you got it right. So my tensile force is acting at centroid of this trapezoid, wherever the centroid is there. Okay, you have to calculate what is this distance, to the from that point to the centroid of your trapezoid, and this distance, the centroid of this secondary triangle. Okay, so if you are adding these two, you will be getting your lever arm. I can call it as y1 bar if this is y1 bar and this is y2 bar, so my lever arm will be y1 bar plus y2 bar. Okay, so whatever structure it is, my mp is so simple. It is c into you can directly write it as fi into a by 2 into y1 bar plus y2 bar, y1 bar plus y2 bar. Okay, I hope it is very clear, right? So how I can write it is, fi तो common है, ये निकाल दो बाजू में, so I can write it as a by 2 into y1 bar plus y2 bar, right? So a by 2 into y1 bar into y2 bar, I can write it as zp. Okay, zp, z was your section modulus. Now I am writing it as zp. I am just replacing a by 2 into y1 bar plus y2 bar as my zp, where my zp will be plastic modulus. Instead of section modulus, it will be called as plastic modulus. So I can write my my is equals to, लिख लेना एक बार, fi into z, where z is section modulus, and my mp is equals to fi into zp, where zp is plastic modulus. And very important point, this is the 5-star point which you have to always remember. At fully plastic state, neutral axis कहाँ पे cut करेगा? It will cut the area into two equal areas. At fully plastic state, it doesn't matter कौन सा भी shape ले लो, it doesn't matter circle ले लो, it doesn't matter, neutral axis cut as if ये जो area है exactly half में cut करेगा, I hope it is very clear, right? Now let us see the shape factor. This is a very important topic. From here question can come, so please give it 5-star. 5-star concept है. What is shape factor? Very simple. Just हमने 2 terms पढ़ा था ऊपर, एक है plastic moment, दूसरा yield moment. The ratio of this is nothing but shape factor. Okay, so what does it denotes? It denotes the reserve strength beyond the yield strength of beam. How much reserve strength does a beam have beyond its yield strength? That is represented by shape factor. Okay, so how much reserve strength a beam has beyond its yield strength, वो कौन से टर्म से represent होता है? shear factor से, shape factor से represent होता है, and shape factor is nothing but your plastic moment mp divided by my yield moment. mp you can write it as fi into zp, and my you can write it as fi into z, just like ऊपर लिखे थे. This is plastic modulus and this is section modulus. fi constant cancel, so I can write it as my shape factor is equals to zp by z. And always remember, your zp value will be greater than z. zp value will always be greater than z. So ये जो term बन रहा है shape factor, it will be always greater than 1. It will be always greater than 1. Very clear? So let us solve one example. Let us try to calculate shape factor of a rectangle. Let us see, let us calculate shape factor which represents how much reserve strength beyond the yield strength of the beam is present in a rectangle. Okay, so if I have a rectangle like this, all I have to calculate my shape factor is mp divided by my, in short just zp divided by z, right? Zp divided by z. And what is z of rectangle? Z of rectangle kya hai? B d square by 6. I already know that. I just have to calculate my zp. I just have to calculate my zp. How to get my zp? काफी simple है. My zp is nothing but a by 2 into y1 bar plus y2 bar, right? It is nothing but a by 2 into y1 bar plus y2 bar, right? एरिया आधा डिवाइड हो चुका है एंड यहाँ पे आपका y1 बार है, यहाँ पे आपका y2 बार है. एंड ऑब्वियसली it is a rectangle of depth d, so this is d by 2 and this is d by 2, right? A centroidal distance क्या हो जाएगा? This will be d by 4, this will be d by 4. Simple. What is there? So what is y1 bar? D by 4, y2 bar d by 4. तो हम वही करेंगे. So my zp is area of rectangle b into d divided by 2 into y1 bar, which is d by 4. Let us write small letters so that it will be not confusing. bd divided by 2, area of rectangle divided by 2 into y1 bar. y1 bar is d by 4 plus y2 bar d by 4. As simple as that. So bd by 2 into d by 4 plus d by 4 क्या आ जाएगा? d by 2 हो जाएगा. So I will be getting bd square by 4. You can clearly see your zp value of a rectangle is bd square by 4 and z value of the same rectangle is bd square by 6. You can clearly see your zp value is greater than your z. So what is your shape factor? Shape factor of a rectangle, very important bit, zp by z, bd square by 4 divided by bd square by 6. bd square cancel, 6 ऊपर चले गया, 6 by 4 is your shape factor. How you can write? 2, 3, this 1.5. So the shape factor of a rectangle, very important bit, is 1.5. कितना easy है calculate करना? कोई problem हो आपको? No, right? The shape factor of a rectangle is 1.5. Similarly, there are some shape factors which you have to remember directly, क्योंकि एग्जाम में डायरेक्ट से पूछ सकता है. इफ यू हैव अ आई सेक्शन यूर शेप फैक्टर, यू कैन डू इट जस्ट लाइक सिमिलर टर्म. यू जस्ट हैव टू कैलकुलेट यूर जेड बी. जेड वैल्यू तो आप जानते ही है, जेड पी बाई जेड. यू विल बी गेटिंग योर शेप फैक्टर. करके देख लो. सो फॉर आई सेक्शन यू विल बी गेटिंग 1.12. फॉर दिस क्या बोलते हैं, hollow tubular section, you will be getting 1.27. For rectangle 1.5. if you are cutting certain portion like this, ये जो H section बन रहा है ना, it will also have 1.5. if you are taking a circle, that will be 1.7. if you are taking a diamond shape, then it is 2. and if you are taking a triangle, 2.34. this is a very important term which you have to remember. 2.3 जो भी है, ये जो 2.3 आ रहा है ना, 2.34 to be precise, but 2.3 चलेगा. So this is the maximum shape factor a structure can have. Maximum shape factor किसका है? Triangle का है. Write down a bit, note down as a bit. Maximum shape factor is for triangle. कितना है? 2.34 to be precise. Around 2.3 आएगा आंसर if you calculate. Okay, I hope it is very clear. And in examination a question can come from nowhere. Please try to understand. याद रख लो. Repeat with me. I section 1.12, tubular section 1.27, rectangular section 1.5, H section 1.5, circular section 1.7, rhombus whatever you are getting, right? diamond shape, rhombus, आपको जो बुलाना है बुला लो. So that is 2 and triangle 2.34. maximum किसका? triangle का 2.34. all you have to remember. and one more thing, ये जो section दिख रहा है ना, so it is 1.27 or you also remember it as 4 by pi. sometime in exam he can ask, give you a diagram and he will be asking 3 by pi, 4 by pi, 5 by pi, 6 by pi. what is the right answer? answer is 4 by pi, because 4 by pi आप करके देख लो, आपको 1.27 ही आएगा. 1.27 ही आएगा. okay, and based on these shapes different questions can also be formed. now let us see this question. there will be like 4 options, A, B, C, D, and he will be asking what is the shape factor of a section like this. use your common sense. circle का कितना था? 1.7, right? and ये जो tubular section का जो भी हो गया, hollow section का, hollow circular section, so it came to 1.27, right? if you have a rectangle it is 1.5. Obviously if you have something like this, it should be definitely less than 1.27. कॉमन सेंस की बात है, राइट, कॉमन सेंस की बात है. Obviously you can just see the options, whatever are less than 1.27. if the options are like some 1.18, 1.3, 1.5, 1.75, you can, what you can do, you can blindly tick on A and move on. ये है application of your common sense. This is application of your common sense. Or else you can do also, it is not a big thing, आप आराम से कर भी सकते हो. You can calculate z of this. Okay, you can easily calculate bd square by 6 minus जो इनर का पार्ट निकाल रहे हो वो पार्ट निकाल दो, b1 d1 square by 6, आपको z वैल्यू आ जाएगा. zp वैल्यू you can also calculate. Okay, zp value also similarly you calculate zp by z, you will be getting your shape factor. But instead of wasting your time, first go with your reasoning. If the answers are close, 1.18, 1.6, 1.16 ऐसे कुछ options है, then only what you have to do, you have to go for zp by z, solve it, get your answer, tick the right answer. कॉमन सेंस हमेशा ऑन में रहना चाहिए इफ यू वांट टू टॉप सम एग्जामिनेशन. It is not about solving the question, it is about solving the question in time. You can solve it in time only when you can think properly. So I am giving you how the questions will be framed, and this is definitely going to help you in examination. And before ending this load factor, I want to end the module here itself, and the next module I am going to continue with load factor. But before that, I am giving you a homework, shape factor of a triangle. This is a 12 marks ESC mains question. This was asked in ESC mains for 12 marks. Okay, actually there will be a section in which you have to write, एक क्वेश्चन के नीचे 5 पार्ट्स रहते हैं, A B C D E in your mains, each part 12 marks, 12 marks, 12 marks, 12 marks, 12 marks, and you will be getting 60 marks from that question. So एक क्वेश्चन में एक पार्ट पूछा था, what is shape factor of a triangle. Okay, not only once, it came multiple times, so it is important. What is a shape factor of a triangle? Answer you should get around 2.3, precise 2.34. Please try to solve it. कॉम्प्लिकेटेड क्वेश्चन है, ऑब्वियसली 12 मार्क ESC मेंस में पूछा है, सो कुछ ना कुछ होगा इसमें. सो आई ऑलरेडी गिव यू अ हिंट, राइट, ZP by Z, कैलकुलेट Z ऑफ ट्राइंगल विच यू ऑलरेडी नो. ट्राइंगल का तो आप जानते हो, BD square by 36, राइट. सो यू नो ऑलरेडी दैट Z वैल्यू ऑफ दिस. ZP कैलकुलेट करना है, दैट इज अ हेडेक, A/2 into y1 bar plus y2 bar. You know it divides the area into 2 parts. This is A/2, this is A/2, right? So first calculate where the line is cutting, calculate this y1 bar and y2 bar, and try to solve it. Okay, this is your homework, very important question. Even if you are solving it, well and good. If you are not, in the next module I am going to start the video by solving this question. Okay, next module I am going to start with solving this question, shape factor of a triangle. काफी important है, everyone should be able to do this question. Try it. If you are able to do, that means you are good enough to clear ESC in your very first attempt. I have given everything. Show some patience, try to solve it. Logic कुछ भी नहीं है, I already explained you the logic. Try to solve it. If you clear, ESC आपका clear होने वाला है. If you don't do it, no issues, I will help you to clear ESC. Okay, so let us see you in next module.